Hello to whoever might be finding me on live right now. I decided I have to do my hair. I just washed my hair and I decided to tell a little story while I do my hair because I've been through a lot this past 2 months and I really need to talk about what happened because a lot has been going on. I'm leaving Mexico City soon. Hey, Kalanda. I'm leaving Mexico City soon. So it's a lot. Like I have a lot of logistical things that are going on right now. And I'm just trying to make sure that I have everything in order. So by the time that I leave, I don't have to come back for a while. But in the meantime, sis been going through it over these past 2 months. Going through it. Okay. So I was living in Colombia. I don't know who all is here. Definitely say hi if you're here, but I'm just gonna get the background for anybody who might not have known what has been going on. So I used to live here in Mexico City in December of 2021 through December of 2022. And then I moved to Medellin, Colombia. So I was living in Colombia for a year. And if you have been following me, then you may have seen my post where I said I experienced a very serious mental health crisis in July of this year. So when that happened, I didn't work from July of last year until actually just recently. And you know what, Kalanda? She said live at 2:22. I see you. This is my cousin, y'all. So I kept going back and forth and I was like, am I being extra right now? And then I looked down at the clock and it was 2:22. And I was like, all right, well, here we go. We're going live. So that confirmation. But at any rate, I decided that I had to leave Colombia because I hadn't been working. And I had come here to Mexico City in like October or November. And I was talking with someone that I considered to be a friend. And I was explaining to that friend what was going on. And I was like, things are really hard. And I wrote a letter to my family. And like, it's just wild. So she was like, Kimberly, you can stay with me. You can come here. You can stay with me. Like, don't say anything else. I have a guest room. Like, I'll make sure I get it all set up for you. So I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. This is like such a godsend. Like, you are really saving my life right now. Like, thank you, all the things. So I had decided I was going to leave Colombia in early December. So I wound up getting here to Mexico City December 7th. So my friend, and I want every time that I say that, I want you to imagine air quotes, okay? Every time that I say that. So my friend sent me really good directions and all that. And I get to the house and to the apartment, and I get in and there's a bed that's there, and I'm just grateful to have somewhere to be, right? So a couple of the first things that I noticed, well, let me give this disclaimer. So I have discovered that I probably have OCD, and I don't know if it is actual OCD or if it's like OCD tendencies or if it's just other neurodivergent things that are happening. But nonetheless, I don't do bathrooms. They are really, really, really difficult for me. And when I say that, I want you to think of whatever your biggest phobia is. That's how I feel about bathrooms. So, like, if snakes is your thing, imagine having to interact with snakes at least 3 times a day, and bathrooms is something that you can't really get out of interacting with. So when I got there are certain types of bathrooms that trigger me more than others, and there are certain things that trigger me more than others. So like bathrooms that feel very dark and cold. Those types of bathrooms really, really skeeve me out. So I get to my friend's house, and that's the type of bathroom that is there. It doesn't have anything to do with the cleanliness. It really is about the feel of that particular space, right? So I noticed that right off. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to like get myself together to transition into this bathroom, because I had done so much work when I was living in Colombia to get myself to a space where I was able to um what can I say? I was able to enjoy a bathroom experience. I hear that people like take showers and they really enjoy them, and like that was just not really a part of my world. So I had gotten myself to that point. I'm looking for my where's my brush at? Hold on, I might have to go get it. So I had gotten myself to a point where I was able to enjoy my bathroom experience, my shower experience. It actually became like a big part of my get ready, start the day routine, like all of that, right? So now I'm in a new bathroom. So, okay, I'm going to have to get used to this. So that was the first thing. Then when I went into the bedroom and I looked at the bed, there was a slat missing on the bed. So the bed looked like it was from IKEA, which no shade to IKEA. I love IKEA. However, like when you order a bed from IKEA or Amazon or wherever, there are slats like that go down under the mattress, and like those are purposeful. That provides support on the mattress, right? So that when you sit on it, you don't fall through it. So one of the first things that I noticed is that the slats, one of the slats on the mattress, or under the mattress on the bed, was missing. So I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. Okay. I guess I'll just have to be careful like on the bed so I don't fall. So then after that, it was one day I sat on the bed and the whole bed fell down. And it fell down because the legs like folded out and they didn't like lock into place for some reason. So if you sit on the bed and maybe shift your weight or whatever, eventually the legs are falling, falling, falling. So I sit down on the bed and the bed falls. So I'm like, okay, this is interesting, right? Okay. Then she had told me that there have been issues with the hot water. So she was like, there's gonna be some guys that are gonna come and they're going to work on the hot water heater or the boiler, whatever you want to call it. And it's going to fix the hot water so that it's more consistent. So I'm like, okay, cool. But also, when I was taking a shower, I noticed that the shower wasn't draining, right? So I already, again, am somebody with like severe like issues with bathrooms. And now I'm taking a shower and the water is like pooling up underneath at my feet. Like it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. So every time I'm having to take a shower, I'm like freaking out because like, oh my God. So I tell her, I was like, hey, the shower isn't draining, when I'm taking a shower. So she was like, oh, well, that's new. And I was like, okay, but also it's not draining. So like, can you call somebody to fix that or like whatever? So she's like, oh, well, the last time that it happened, the guy just poured hot water down the sink. And I was like, but you had just said that that was new. So how did is it new? But then it had happened before. So then I was just like, oh, okay. So she heats up water. Now, in the meantime, I've already told her, this is my friend, right? So I've already told her, like, this is what's going on with me, because I was like, I don't want you to take it personally, because I really had to make accommodations for myself. I was wearing shower shoes in the shower because I just could not bring myself to step onto the tile. Like it just didn't feel safe. I got my shower routine down probably to like 5.5 minutes. And that is literally like when I was in Colombia, I was probably in the shower, I don't know, 20 or 25 minutes until the water turned cold. I was in there hanging out. Um, this shower, and I had like a lot of steps. I would do my face care, then then I wash with soap, then I wash with my body wash, and I exfoliate, then I do my in shower moisturizer. Like, it was a whole thing when I was in Colombia. So now in this bathroom that feels cold and unsafe, I'm like, let me just wash and get out. Right. So wasn't no smell good, wasn't no nothing. I had the Bronner's peppermint, get in here, get it in, and get the hell up out of here. So I was already doing it, and the water was like all pooled up by my feet. So it was a lot. 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 So I go to wash my hands in the sink, and the water is scalding hot. Okay, scalding. So I'm like, golly, like, what's going on? But the people have been to work on the hot water heater, right? So I'm like, well, maybe that's the issue. So I tell her, hey, friend, the water in the sink, it seems like when they came to work on the hot water heater that they turned off the cold water. And she said, yeah, they told me that. And I was very confused because why did you not tell me if this is the shower, the bathroom that I'm gonna be using? Like, so then she was like, oh, well, just don't open the faucet all the way, just open it a little bit. And I'm like, okay, this is a lot. Like, this is a lot, right? So I'm dealing with all of that. All right, cool. But also, this is my friend, right? So we're sitting talking one day. So I got there again on December 7th. I thought it was December 9th, but it was December 7th. And during this time, we're having conversations about all kinds of stuff. She used to be one of my favorite people to talk to. So we're talking about all kinds of things. I'm like, she is addicted to reality TV. And I was fascinated because I haven't watched reality TV since probably 2009 or something. It's been a long time. So I was very much like intrigued with that. And I had questions and like all of this. So we're having conversations. Fast forward to December 21st, we wind up having a conversation about movies. So I was telling her that I don't like movies like fantasy movies. So like the Never Ending Story, Avatar, Lord of the Rings, I hate them. I hate them with a passion. I hate them so much they make me angry. I don't like them. I think they're stupid. And that's not to offend anybody who loves them. Great, if that's your thing, but it ain't mine, right? So we were having that conversation. She was like, oh my God, like that is such a shame that you miss out on those stories because there are some really great stories. So then I was like, I don't know that shame is the word that I would choose. I think it's just different because I had asked her about Bridgerton and I love Bridgerton. So I was like, oh my gosh, have you seen like Bridgerton? And I really resonate with the Queen Charlotte series and I feel like King George and like all that. And she was like, no, I don't watch romance. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I just kind of summarized it and like got to the point because you don't watch it. You're not going to ever watch it because you don't like it. Cool. So now we're talking about me and what I don't watch. Never ending story is a fave. I hate it. The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, I hate them all. I hate them all of them. I don't like them. I don't know why, but they just make me upset. So anyway, so now we're having a conversation about those types of movies and she's like, that's such a shame. And I said, I don't think shame is the right word. I think it's just different. So she was like, I mean, yeah, and it's a shame. And I was like, so it's not a shame. It's just different. So it's just different. Like I just have different tastes. So she was like, I mean, but it is like there are so many amazing movies and like you just don't get to see them. Like that's really a shame. So then I was like, I'm confused as to why you keep choosing that word because I continue to redirect you and you continue to decide that that's the word that you're going to use. So she's like, well, I mean, it doesn't matter what word I use, I'm going to feel the same way regardless. So that was like, this, and she even said to me, she was like, it seems like you're getting defensive. And I was like, yes, because shame is not a word that I want attached to me. That's not a word that I feel is an appropriate descriptor in this situation. So yes, I am. I am. Yeah, it's not a shame. So basically, she tripled, quadrupled, quintupled down and was like, it's a shame. Well, the person that I am, I said what I had to say. And if you keep saying it, I'm gonna keep correcting you, right? But I'm also taking note. So that was going on. Also, I want to say I'm about to put some purple in my hair because I like the blue, but I want a blue and purple combo. So I'm about to do that. So I got my gloves on. And also there is no rhyme or reason to how I do this. I just put it in there and I just let it rock where it's gonna be. So you get to see my chaotic process of that. But anyway, so she like once I say what I have to say, I'm the type of person I'm moving on to something else, right? Like I'm not gonna keep saying the same thing. I done said what I had to say, I meant what I said, and that's what it is. So I was done with it. I said what I had to say and I was done. So I move on with life. Okay. So this is December 21st. December 22nd, I start feeling sick. So now I'm like, Lord, I don't want to get this girl sick because I don't know what's going on with me. I just feel weird. But also keep in mind, Mexico City has horrible pollution. So it could be that I'm sick, it could be allergies, it could be all kinds of stuff. But let me just be really intentional with how I am interacting and let me just keep my space. So I even come out one of those days, December 22nd, 23rd, or 24th, and I'm like, hey, I need to make some Theraflu. She didn't have a microwave. So I was like, how do you usually heat up water? So because I'm sick, right? So I'm like trying to communicate and also let you know if you felt like I was feeling some type of way, I'm not. I didn't say what I had to say and I'm over it. So, we had a friend, a mutual friend that was doing a Christmas Eve party, or maybe it was the 23rd, was when the party was going to be. So, I was going to try to go, but again, I'm sick. So, I messaged the friend and I was like, hey, I'm not going to be able to come. I tell her I'm not going to be able to go because I'm sick, right? All right, cool. 23rd, 24th, I see her and I was like, hey, how was the party last night? So she's like, oh, it was cool. um and I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I go and I get my food or whatever I need to do. I go back in the room because I'm sick. December 25th, which is Christmas, I start to feel a little better. So, and I hadn't talked to her for since the 21st. So I sent her a message and I was basically like, hey, Merry Christmas. I just wanted to thank you again for this gift of allowing me to stay at your home. I really, really appreciate it. I don't think you know how much it means. And also, oh, this is the other thing I forgot. So I told y'all I got that December 7th, right? Well, I didn't have a key. So when I first got there, the key was left under the mat for me. And she was like, I'm going to go get you a key made. All right. But also, I was having such a difficult time transitioning. I really wasn't going anywhere. So I was just at the house. So I didn't technically need a key, but I didn't have a key. Right. So along this time, she was like, she eventually turned it over to me and she was like, well, I'm gonna give you you could get the copy of the key and you could make the key. And I was like, that's weird, like how that all of a sudden became my responsibility. But no problem. No problem, right? A key is like what? I don't know, 50 cents. Fine. I'll figure out how to get it done. But I got sick, right? So I was sick the 22nd, 23rd, 24th. That's the 25th. So I sent a message. I'm like, thank you so much for letting me stay here. Also, I'm sorry I've been sick for the past few days and I haven't had a chance to get the key made. I'm finally starting to feel better. So, and also I was going to leave out the house for a little while. Can you let me know when you'll be back home, or if there's somewhere that I can meet you to get the key, and then I'll just leave it under the mat for you. All right. So I left the house on Christmas somewhere around 4 o'clock. I sent that message about 6:30. She told me that the best way to communicate with her was by phone call. So I send the text, but then I also call. Now keep in mind, I don't have a key. Okay. Um, but I done reached out, but also I'm about to go out, right? So I go out and I'm calling from 6:40 something to 9:45. I'm calling and calling and calling and calling. Now, I was on a date, so I was hanging out with the guy, but also, I don't have a key because I never asked you for your key to make the key. So also, why are you not answering the phone when you told me this was the best way for hours at a time? Like, this is weird, right? Okay, cool. But it's Christmas. Maybe she doing Christmas with whatever. It's Christmas. So, um, she finally calls back or texts back at 9:45. Hey, I'm just seeing this. The key is under the mat, she says. So then I'm thinking to myself, well, that would have been nice to know that the key was under the mat. Like, that would have been an easy text to just be like, hey, the key's under the mat, just so you know, Merry Christmas, but okay, weird. So then I let myself in. The 26th, I go on an adventure to go get the key made, right? Now, she also has a cat, okay? So the 26th, I get up to go on the adventure, and the cat is screaming because the cat eats at a particular time. So the cat is just screaming, and I'm like, sis, I don't know how to help you, sis. I don't know what's supposed to happen. I don't know where your mama at. I don't know, right? So I go out, I get the key made. I come back and the cat's still screaming. So I messaged her and I was like, hey, is there something that you need me to do for the cat? Because she's screaming, and is there something you need me to do? Like, let me know. No response. Okay, that's the 26th. The 27th, cat screaming again. Okay, cat been screaming all night. Okay. So I just went in the room and put my earplugs in. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, if your mama ain't, I don't know. So the 27th, cat's still screaming. So I messaged her again. I was like, hey, is there something you need me to do for the cat? No response. Okay. So I go out on the 27th. I come back that night, cat's still screaming. So I was like, well, let me try to feed the cat from what I seen her do. Right. So I try to feed the cat or whatever. And the cat immediately runs over to the bowl like she was starving. Right. So I'm like, that's odd. Okay. So I message her again. Hey, me again. I hope I didn't overstep, but I fed the cat. And she immediately ran over. I hope I did it right. Let me know what the actual instructions are so that I can help you if you need help, and let me know if you're okay. No response. December 28th. Now, I told you last conversation that we had was December 21st. I messaged her on December 25th. I'm locked out the house. She tells me that the key is under the mat. December 26th, 27th, no response. December 28th, I sent her a video of the cat. I had gone out, I come back in, the cat screaming and hollering. I sent her a video and I was like, hey, your baby girl misses you. What's going on? Are you all right? Let me know if you're okay. So she responds back and she says, yeah, the cat sitter is taking care of her. That's why I left the key under the mat. Wait, sis. Wait, sis. Wait, wait, sis. Because what? When you had told me on December 25th that the key was under the mat, that would have been a great time to be like, hey, and also, just so you know, put it back under the mat because there's a cat sitter that's supposed to be coming to check on her. And also, you're in this house. So I don't want you to be alarmed if somebody is just in the house that you don't even know because I didn't communicate that to you. And also, sis, why are you sitting here acting like you told me this? And also, whatever cat sitter that you hired, they didn't ever come because your cat in here starving. Litter box ain't been changed, none of that. I did all of that because I'm thinking my friend must be in distress. Let me try to show up and help her however I can. I don't know what's going on. I'm in a personal crisis right now. Maybe she having one too. I don't know. So let me do what I can do as a friend to show up for my friend, right? Okay, so she tells me the cat sitter supposed to be coming. Oh, I said, well, no, I didn't know that. So then I was like, well, thank you for communicating that piece of information. And then I said, I'm sorry to bother you. Right. So at that point, I hate to say it like this, but F the cat. Okay. If you're telling me somebody coming for the cat, girl, fine. All right. So the cat steady screaming and hollering, y'all. Screaming and hollering the entire time. And I'm looking at the cat like, says, I don't know what to tell you. Because your mama said somebody's supposed to be coming up in here to help you. All right. So that was the 28th. 29th, I'm getting ready to go out and I'm standing in the living room. She walks in the house with a suitcase. I said, hello. She said, hi, and went in the room and closed the door. So I'm like, okay, that was weird. And also, I don't have time for this right now. I'm about to go out. I'm about to enjoy myself. Like, I'm not doing this. So I go out and the behavior continues. Like the next day, and then it was like she was doing stuff to troll me. So like even I would go into the kitchen to try to cook, and like every single pot would be dirty. Every single one. And I'm like, so are you trying to make me have to wash dishes? Like what is this? Like what is happening right now? So I asked her, I was like, hey, is everything okay? Like, did something happen? Is everything okay? Yeah, everything's fine. Okay. So then I think to myself, maybe I didn't ask the right question. Maybe that's why I didn't ask the right question. I just said, is everything okay? Maybe I need to ask her a different question. Like, let me ask her if she is okay, right? So, okay. So the next day, we're on like December 30th now at this point. Are you okay? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. So I was like, oh, okay, you're fine. And also, are we fine? So she's like, yeah, we're fine. Okay. Interesting. All right. So December 31st, I have a horrible, 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 horrible New Year's Eve because I'm just trying to understand like this energy that is present. Like I'm not understanding what is going on and why it is happening and what the hell I did to this girl. Cause like, what is your problem? I'm not understanding. So somewhere around January, I don't know, maybe second or third, um, I asked her again and I said, did I do something to offend you? No. I said, so I want to be clear. I said, you are okay. We are okay. And I didn't do anything to offend you. So she's like, yeah, everything's fine. Okay. So at this point, I'm kind of like, okay, I don't really know. All right. But whatever. I'm not going to keep asking you because you've had ample time to tell me if you felt differently, then you should have said that because I don't know what else to say. So I make a decision in my mind that I'm not going to allow her to be in control of my emotions, my peace, whatever. Like I'm going to find my inner peace. But also at the same time, I really wasn't processing how heavy the energy was just in the space. I would walk into the kitchen and sometimes I felt good. So I would wash all the dishes that were there just because I was feeling kind that day. Like, and this is somebody who I thought was my friend. Like, so to not talk to somebody that you live with who is supposed to be your friend for a whole month, like, and you see them every day is weird to me. And maybe it's because I don't know how to be a friend. I don't know, but like that just seems weird. So she just kept doing stuff like the housekeeper would come, she wouldn't tell me that the housekeeper was coming. The housekeeper actually came while she was out of town, and the housekeeper threw her hands up in the air and she was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, it was a key. And I was like, it's fine, girl, because luckily I had talked to my friend the day before where she was like the cat sitter was supposed to come. Like, so it was just stuff like that just kept happening. So finally, on January 7th, I messaged her and I was like, I'm gonna take your word that you say everything is fine, even though your actions are showing differently. And I was like, also, my braces should be off by the end of the month. So that's when I'll be planning to leave. But if you want me to leave before then, please just say so. You don't need to be making things uncomfortable for me to be here. Like, just say that you don't want me to be here and I'll figure something out. Oh, no, everything's fine. Everything is totally fine. Okay, yeah, thanks for the heads up. That's totally okay. This girl started watching TV on like the highest volume that it could be on. Like I said, she kept leaving the kitchen dirty. The housekeeper stopped coming. Her cat would go into the bathroom and knock everything over. Like, it was wild. It was wild. It was wild. Okay. So the whole time I'm just sitting here, I'm like, let me just let me just prepare to get ready to leave. So this was what's today? Today is Thursday. So this maybe was Tuesday. So Tuesday, I get up this past Tuesday. I make myself a grilled cheese sandwich with syrup, and I'm in meetings all day. There was a break in between one of my meetings. I go out of the room and I'm confronted with gas. Like, the entire apartment smelled like gas. So I had to go and turn on the vent, turn off the gas that was on the stove, turn on the vent over the stove, open the windows, open the patio door. I turned a fan on, like all of that, but I also still had meetings. So I did all of that. And I go back in the room. So the cat was screaming. This was maybe like around noon or something like that. So by the time that I came out the room again, let's say maybe like 2, the cat was eating. Okay, which means that she had fed the cat. So then she sends me a text message. Now, mind you, the last communication that we had was on January 7th. Okay. And that was because I had sent her a text message and was like, my plan is to leave by the end of the month. And all that time, she ain't said 2 words to me. She sends me a message talking about, did I leave the gas on the stove? My response was, no. And that's all I said. I was just like, no. So then she messaged and she was like, what time are you gonna be leaving on Thursday? And I said, I don't know. By the end of the day, is there a certain time that you need me to leave? So she was like, yeah, by 4 o'clock. I said, okay. Which I had already, when I was thought I was about to lose my life to this gas, I had already started looking for somewhere to go because I didn't feel safe anymore. And I feel like I don't know whether it was done on purpose or not. Um, because that's the type of spirit that she was operating out of. And I just didn't feel safe. So I found myself a hotel, and all that. So then Wednesday, Tuesday, what's today? Today is Thursday. So Tuesday. Yeah, I guess it was Tuesday that I found the hotel. I take some of my stuff and then I left some of my stuff because I knew that I had to go back and I didn't want to be lugging around 3 suitcases. So I was just like, well, let me just take most of my stuff so that I can stay at the hotel and do what I need to do. So I did that. So I go back yesterday to get my stuff. And I had left a pair of shoes in the shoe holder thing or whatever by the front door. I had left my Google Home, a few clothes, and then a few things in the room. I go in the room or go in the house. She done put all my shit in a pile. I got there about just before 2 o'clock. So if you told me that you need me to be out by 4, why are you touching my things? Why are you touching my things? Except but for it to be ugly. And I was so proud of myself because when I tell you I wanted to cuss her ass out, I wanted to cuss her out so bad and put my hands on her. And I just said to myself, I am very proud that I conquered that spirit because all of that I just explained to y'all is the type of spirit that I grew up with. And I realized that the reason that I had to encounter that is because I had to encounter that spirit that lived in my mother my entire childhood. And it was wild. It was a wild time, but I really feel like I showed up for myself, um as opposed to shrinking, which is what happens and what used to happen when I would be home. I would just start shrinking and try to be invisible, try to be as quiet as possible, just stay out the way, and just, walking on eggshells and all of that. And I was able to decide that I wasn't going to do that, even in the face of that incredibly unkind spirit, I'm gonna call it. um but I really wanted to cuss her out. I'm just being very, very honest. I really, really, really wanted to. Oh, I really, really wanted to. But I didn't. So once I got back yesterday with all of my things, and once I got to the hotel, I felt like I finally breathed. Like I had been holding my breath for the past 2 months every single day because of the type of environment that she created in that apartment. And I was finally able to exhale and to breathe and feel at peace. Um, it was just a really, really wild experience. So I wanted to tell that story for a few reasons. One is because we really never know what else is happening when someone is showing certain things on social media. And I wasn't going to talk about it at first. I'm honestly just going to let it ride because we know a lot of the same people, and I was just gonna let it ride. And I was just gonna be like, if anybody asked me about it, I'd just be like, yeah, I went and I wouldn't do it again. But then I started like unpacking how incredibly, I want to have a word to call it, but I don't even, y'all might have a word. Y'all could drop it in the comments. But I often feel like I preserve people's reputations by not talking about the types of things that they do. And I just decided that I wasn't going to do that. That I was going to actually talk about how someone who called themselves a friend, whether intentionally or not, created a very hostile, uncomfortable, um, and unsafe environment for me. And I'm glad to be free from it. And I'll be even gladder when I get back to Colombia because I'm over Mexico City. It was cool, and I know people here, and it feels like a place I can always land. But disheartening, yeah, that's definitely a good word. Um, But Mexico City loud. Mexico City is so loud. Like, shut up. It is so loud in this city, and I just can't do it. I don't know if y'all know that noise is a way that they torture people, and it feels oftentimes like torture. The amount of construction, the amount of cars honking, and just it's loud. It's just really, really loud. And it doesn't sit well with my spirit anymore. So I would have had to come regardless, because that's the other thing I was thinking of, is I was like, did I make a mistake in coming? But I had to come because I had to get my braces off. So I would have had to be here anyway. I just would have been traveling back and forth. But I also feel like I'm really proud because I conquered that spirit, and I don't, when I see that spirit again, I'm gonna be able to recognize it very quickly because I've been able to confront it head on. So I think it was purposeful, even though it didn't feel good. It was very purposeful, and I made it through. And now I get to go back to the place that makes my spirit happy. So I am excited about that. So anyway, I have to go and pick up my retainers today. And this is the last time I'll be hanging out with my orthodontist, and she is definitely one of my favoriteest people, and almost feels like family. So I'm gonna have to, like, put on my thug face or whatever, so I don't be in there crying and such, you know what I mean? Because I'm a G, you feel me? Um, but yeah, that's probably gonna be kind of sad. So so anyway, I'm gonna finish getting ready. Thanks for listening to my story, and I hope y'all have an absolutely beautiful day. Take from my experience whatever lessons. Hopefully there was some there that you feel like you need to take, and yeah, I'm good. But I've been through it, Lord Jesus, and I'm glad I don't look like what I've been through. Okay, let's just say that. All right, I'm about to go. Okay, see y'all later. Bye.